Hello YouTube. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my Q2 2025 profit and loss statement. And we're going to be diving into not just the revenue, but the actual profit generated after all expenses, Amazon fees, overhead, employees, warehouse rent, and all that stuff. So if you want to see a real behind the scenes look at the realistic margins generated by a large scale Amazon business, then this video is for you. Here we go. I want to be the most transparent quote unquote guru out there showing you the real numbers behind the business, because everyone can flex orange bars, but not everyone can show you receipts like I can. Sales don't matter, profit matters. So here we go. I'm going to take us through each month and each line item and kind of give you guys an overview of how I think I did, what I can improve upon, and just show you that quarter after quarter, I am indeed making money in the business. And one thing I want to just point out, I'm not going to call out anyone by name, but when I first did my profit and loss statement last year, I finished at a net of about 5.11% before my salary, so maybe 6%. And I got a lot of hate saying that, oh, it's, Dan's such a big store, but his profit margin is small. It's better to do 1/10 of the sales at quadruple the margin. And a couple of people called me out. And it's funny that one of those people actually published their numbers, and turns out their margin was even worse than mine, even though they had an entirely virtual operation and boasted about bigger margins and lean and mean. So there's just so much bluster out there that I want to just cut through the noise and show you realistically what type of margins there are for these bigger wholesale businesses. And I do think I can get my margin up. I think my margin is honestly probably better than average for sellers my size. I'd probably put myself in the top 20th percentile, probably in the top 20% of sellers my size, if I were to guess, if people are really being real with their numbers. However, there is room for higher margins. That's enough rambling from me. Let's go over the actual numbers here, and hopefully you guys get something out of this. So here's Q2, April, May, and June of 2025. And I'm not going to go over the individual months. You guys can look at those if you want as I go along the totals. But as you can see, I did $7.8 million of sales, representing 104.81% of my income. So that's sales before discounts, refunds, rebates, chargebacks, and then shipping income is added back there. My refund rate is about 4.96%. That's climbed a little bit from around my previous 4%. I don't know if a mix of products I'm selling are just more susceptible to returns, but I did notice an uptick there. So I have to look into that. A lot of the money that comes back, that gets taken out as refunds, is recovered. We'll do one of a few things. We'll resell the product again on Amazon if it turns out it's returned in brand new condition. We also will sell it on as used condition on Amazon, which a lot of people sleep on. A lot of categories you can sell used items for 80 or 90% of the retail price, get your buy cost back, and sometimes even make money on the used price. And then we also sell products on eBay, liquidate, et cetera, et cetera. So this 371K of refunds isn't as bad as it seems, but yeah, this is a high level overview of what type of refund percentage I have. So net of all that stuff, about 7.5 mil. Let's look at cost of goods sold, biggest expense line item. And that's sitting at just under 50%, 49.83%. And that's actually down from the previous quarter, which is nice. Cost of goods sold, this other line item is drop ship cost of goods sold. We're doing some drop shipping, not like the drop shipping advertised in courses where you buy stuff from Walmart and sell it on Amazon. We do proper drop shipping from authorized distributors with drop ship programs, which Amazon does allow. A lot of people think that drop shipping is just not allowed. That's not true. It is allowed. You just have to do it the right way. So we are doing it the right way, and we're starting to dabble in drop shipping. Hopefully it becomes a more and more significant part of the business, because once you set it once, it kind of runs itself. We have a system kind of in place to just have it operate very, very smoothly with minimal involvement. Inventory adjustments, that's stuff like lost found adjustments from Amazon, just basically noise that kind of cancels itself out. Shipping costs, so that's both inbound shipping and FBM order shipping. So 38K in April, 55 in May, 38 again in June. So yeah, I think we're hovering around 40K on average shipping. That's one small area of improvement potentially where we can get lower shipping rates. We're always trying to find rock bottom prices for shipping. So let's see. This is a Canada tax item, like once a year type of thing. I won't get into the weeds there. Shipping supplies, about 2K a month. Another place we could probably save a little bit. We actually just onboarded with a new packaging supplier. It's about 10% cheaper. So it'll, shave off a little profit. And by the way, guys, as you look at all these things in your own business, ask yourself what can be improved on any of these line items. Are you wasting money somewhere? Can you get better deals on certain things? Because the truth is, in retail and on Amazon, everything matters. Every single line item matters, because a lot of these, like 0.1% or 0.5% savings, add up to multiple percentage points in your net margin. So you have to really be vigilant about everything. Otherwise, you can easily go from 5 to 10% net to breaking even or even losing if you're not careful. So word of advice there. These are FBA fees, referral fees. So these are just kind of fixed. There's nothing I can really do about those fees. They just are what they are. And that constitutes about 28%. So 28% Amazon is taking of every sale off the top of the retail price. These are inventory reimbursements. So 37K, 75, and 50. Our reimbursements are getting better. I have an in-house full-time reimbursement person. Ever since hiring her, my monthly reimbursement numbers have gone up, which is great. So happy about that. And then we have various other channel fees. And again, those are what they are. And then you can see our gross profit here, which is actually a little bit less than I'd like to see. So in April, it was 11%. May, it was 13. June, 13.4. Fortunately, it is trending in the right direction. Sometimes it's lower because occasionally there are products we have to liquidate, or there are brands that we no longer work with. There are a couple, problem brands where we've had to basically just liquidate the inventory at a loss. So stuff like that drags down margin, or sometimes there are price wars where you're just breaking even on product, but you'd rather move the product than just sit there and not sell it. So stuff like that can drag down the margin. We don't shoot to ever buy anything with a 10% margin. Our floor is typically 15 and ideally 20%. And we have plenty of products that do over 20% margin, but a lot of these break even or losers will drag down the margin. But it is good to see that the trend is going up month over month, higher gross margin. So that's a good thing. Let's see, Amazon ads. So this is an interesting line item. Some of the brands we work with will actually match our ad spend. We have a couple where we'll put in, 2,000 or 5,000, they'll match it. And that takes the form of a future invoice credit. So a lot of this advertising, probably about a third of it actually will be reimbursed for. The other is on us. And yeah, we like to advertise for brands when we have the budget for it, and then show brands the results of our advertising efforts, which makes them very happy and want to continue partnering with us. So product giveaways, almost negligible. Marketing, almost negligible. And let's get into like the real nitty gritty of my operating expenses, my overhead here. So we have computer and software, $8,000 or $9,000 a month, and a couple one-off expenses in June, I think, that raised it up. But yeah, we have a lot of software subscriptions. We have softwares for inventory, for repricing, for shipping, for restocking, you name it. I mean, we have like probably 20 different softwares. And when your business gets bigger, they're going to charge you like a higher pricing tier, either because you have a lot of Amazon orders or you have a lot of employees. The software that costs, a one-person show, $50 a month is going to cost me like $400 a month just due to the size of the company, which kind of sucks. We pay for a lot in software, as you can see, but well worth it. We use every single tool, and I evaluate them once a year with the team. Like, is there a cheaper, better alternative? Are we using it enough to get our money's worth? But for now, yeah, that's just a necessary expense. Insurance, so that's general liability, workers' comp. Meals, so I'll do Friday lunches with my team. Sometimes we'll do work trips, and the numbers will inflate a little bit. Like in May, there's probably a couple of big dinners out there. That's fine. Meals, I don't really track anyway. It's like I get enjoyment out of it, and so does the team, so whatever. Office expenses, that's going to be like more supplies and just stuff for the office and the company in general. Travel, like work trips, trade shows, etc., whatever. Legal and professional, hired a few consultants for things. This is super high for May and June, which is dragging the margin down a little bit. But yeah, those are just some one-off things that hopefully won't happen again. Utilities, rent, stable. Yeah, nothing too notable here. And then on to the biggest line item of my operating. So that's going to be payroll. As you can see, it's sitting at 70 to 75K a month. Also payroll taxes on top of that, unavoidable. Contractors, we have some offshore employees, so they're paid as contractors. Here's workers' comp insurance as a separate line item. So that other insurance is the general liability. But yeah, we're looking at 80 to 90K a month, all in for payroll and growing. So that knocks off, payroll alone knocks off 3.5% from my gross profit. And then the general and admin knocks off 2.5% from my gross profit. Then interest. So we got some loans and lines of credit, stuff like that. So we're paying on average, 5 to 10K of interest a month, knocks off a third of a percent, not too bad. And that's going to leave us with our actual net operating income of 5.08%. But fortunately, I've got some add backs, which are nice. So I have some other income for the business. So that's going to be like affiliate income. And I don't even know why this number is so high, to be honest, but I can't click into it and show you the exact breakdown of it. But yeah, or sometimes it's like invoices, like other sales. So like we might invoice somebody and get paid for a certain product. So some of that stuff gets added back. And then cash back. That's cash back generated by our credit card spend, which gets added back. So a good 1.5% gets added back to the margin. And that is going to leave me with a 6.5% net margin, 488,000 gross profit in a quarter, which I'll take. A 500K a quarter isn't too bad. I would definitely like to continue to get this number up. I think I still firmly believe I can get my net up to 9 to 10%. And I'm still almost like overstaffed in a way where I think I can double my sales with almost the same labor pool. I would have to hire some more warehouse employees, but I don't have to hire any more core staff. So that's like buyers, multi-channel manager, my admin person. So I think and same with the softwares. I mean, we have all the softwares we need. We have all the overhead is kind of fixed regardless. So if I can get my sales numbers up 50% and my gross margin up 1% or 2%, I think this net can become 10, even 12% fairly easily. So I'm looking forward to making that a reality, hopefully next year. And yeah, it's good to see that we're on the right track here. So Q2, I think a little less than Q1. I think Q1 was like 8% or 9% net. But 6.5 still good and still a significant improvement over last year. So that's Q2. Wanted to just continue to be transparent with you guys and show you the real numbers behind the business. And stay tuned for Q3 and then most excitingly Q4. And I'll do kind of an annual 2025 year in review when the time comes. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much with all these accounting information, but I think it's super important. And it's actually something that I teach in my program, just one of the many, many things. You can gain access to the exact system, not only with accounting, but every single aspect of selling on Amazon, which has led me to sell over $80 million in the past 8 years and counting. This is the exact same blueprint that many of my students have implemented to massive success. Like Ronald, for instance, within 6 months of implementing our brand direct blueprint, he scaled to over $50,000 a month, not revenue, but profit. Basically a third of my business already within a year, just proving how fast you can grow in this business. Or John Carlo in Canada, actually, he's now doing over $200,000 a month in revenue within 12 months of the program. Or Teresa. Teresa was chasing all distributors, wholesalers, sketchy suppliers, and now she has landed over 50 brand direct accounts, which is just an insane number. So if this sounds interesting to you, you want to learn more about this business model and get some really professional education on how to go about this the right way, click the link below, schedule a call, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.